No mistake from the Frenchman.
God, should have been the man. Yes, sir. First class flights on the Delta.
Sensational! Here comes Ward-Prowse. Loftus-Cheek takes aim.
This is Corner Flag Talk.
Hey guys, we're back once again. It's John of Corner Flag Talk, and it's international break, ding. So we're doing something a little different for the international break. I have a great friend and brother, and Myles Matthews here of Matthews Group of Companies, has the Academy, daycare, amongst other things. And I just brought him here. He's the second best FIFA player I know, to come and talk. What's the differences? What's the updates? What's the new things with the FIFA 20? What we like, what we don't like, and that kind of stuff. So, Myles, thanks for coming. What's going on?
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me. Everything good. I think I do deserve that intro, but I will take it. I do appreciate second best. I think I am the best in South. With Vitali second.
Alright. Word. Dog, I'll make sure I post this separate, that separate, just so Vit see it, dog. I'll do that, dog. I am literally going to write, dog, that timestamp when that happened, 106 vibes, nice. Alright, so first things first, first time you played the game, what was your initial feel of it? You like it? You didn't like it?
I actually loved it. I played the demo initially.
Make sure and talk to the top.
Yeah,
Mike's cheap.
Sorry. I loved it. Downloaded the demo 2 weeks prior to the release, and it was good. It felt like 17, and I mean, that 17 is one of my favorite FIFAs.
Yeah.
Something I like is the feel of going past the defenders once again. Like,
yeah.
I am somebody who fancy the dribble, fancy taking on a defender. And in 19, it felt like any defender, including perimeter Saka, could catch anybody now. And that's crazy.
Don't be on the man, dog. That wasn't even necessary. Could I call it hobbles or somebody? You didn't have to do with that, dog.
This is the slowest ever.
Until this FIFA.
Who's slower than
Dog, West Morgan, pace is 29, dog.
was
30. It was in the 30s. It was the 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing. I actually like it. I'm somebody else who likes to pretend that he could dribble in the game. But yeah, that aspect of it, that feel that you don't need to be overly skills wise, but you can actually use players who have high dribble rate as a dribble in the game. I had really like that as well. A lot of people, even in the last FIFA, was complaining about the shooting.
Yeah.
I actually didn't, because I like the idea of you need to be good at actual shooting to score.
Right.
Where you get to learn the mechanism and then you get good at it. Whereas I felt like, especially when FIFA 19 now came out, and especially in FIFA 18 with circle. Anybody could have. It felt like anybody could have finished on your night. It didn't matter if they were good at it, if they could aim or not. And I like that about this FIFA. Initially, what I still don't like, I find like the defending is a bit too much. Like, you have to work a little too hard to especially when the opposite team retreats into the box, especially, it is really hard to try and play passes in and around there, because they cloud up they what's the word I'm looking for, boy? They oh my god, I'll blank in here.
Crowd?
Yeah, they crowd up the box a lot, So yeah, I don't know if you felt like the same way.
Yeah, I do, but I haven't gotten into much instances where a lot I pass around the ball in the box, because really and truly I play 1-2 and going behind. So most times I'd have one defender to beat and score, just the keeper. So I haven't gotten into much of those scenarios, but most definitely something that I'll look at now since you mentioned it.
So when you compare this, and I know that you and I were both in the camp that FIFA 19 was a really bad game, that FIFA 20, that EA needed to step up this FIFA, because at the end it's one of the highest grossing games in the world. And there is some factor that they could have released a trash game, they would have gotten sales. but you owe something to your consumers to support a good game. What do you think were some of the improvements that came from FIFA 19 to 20?
As mentioned previously, the attacking where you could go past the defenders, that's something that I love. Something I like, the new skills added, like the clock. I don't know if you know the clock. That's amazing. You hold R1 and just push the right stick and you can perform push that looks like the clock, mimics the clock. That's something. And for those of you who don't know what the clock is you basically rolling the ball, trying to roll it through the defender or the opposition's leg. So that was something that I really appreciate. What else? I appreciate that I can play with Barcelona again.
Yeah.
Because 19, it was horrible. The fact too that you couldn't run past the defenders now, like Messi, for me, he was ineffective in the game, and now is happy to be able to play with Barcelona again. And yeah, overall is a much better game. I enjoy the song tracks more. Like playing the game is holistically a better game. Yeah, most definitely.
I think like something that I did like about FIFA 18 was that they could have played a lot better pass in football.
Right.
And I like in this one that I find like your attackers make better runs, more sensible runs.
Right.
Now, it is to the point where even some of the most basic wingers, like when you play online, like we'll get to broken players so far, like in foot and thing.
Yeah.
But like Alan Saint Maxime, like he's really broken. And like everybody with our Prem squad has him at this point, you know.
Right.
He has 5 skills, 93 pace, and like that seems like enough. I know because of how finishing is, like they actually make him kind of good with his finishing, despite him having like I actually don't understand how he got upgraded because he had like 3 goals and assists last year. It's the league. But so I just brought it up there, you know, foot. They changed some stuff in foot. There's now objectives across the FIFA where before, because you are a loyal FIFA consumer, you started off with level like 67, 73, that kind of stuff. And you came with stuff already that you just have to claim. 15k coin boost per game.
A lot of loan
players, that kind of stuff. In this FIFA, you have to earn it. You have to play to earn. I like that actually, you know. Now I do think that paying for loyalty is a thing. Yeah. But I like the fact that, you know, you reward consumers for using the game often.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But like, what are other changes in foot that you notice and like that kind of stuff?
I like the online friendly mode where you can play against a friend and really test out a team without messing up your stats, your ratio. That's what I was looking for, your ratio. Yeah. Where, because, I mean, if I bunks up people who had the game before me, although we are friends, I would get trash now. Because as much as you can play foot, really and truly, the better players you have, the better you are at the game. As much as you can play FIFA, the better players you have, the better you are at the game now. And we know there are people who spend their money and buy players, buy packs, and inevitably they have a better team early on in the game. I like the whole setup in squad now. Like when you go to check your squad, there's some things that they change the way the foot itself look. I think it's a better look. I think it's classier, it's more attractive. I mean, I haven't gotten into it as much as I should because of other stuff that I have to be doing, unfortunately, like work. But the bit of time I spent playing it's much better than the previous foot, in my opinion. What about you?
I like how it is a lot more play to earn way. I actually find like a lot of people that I know have been having, you know, decent pack luck so far. Like I just don't know if the game was that because like last year FIFA I actually got really upset about that, you know. Like it was really, really hard to pack good players, and like they were actually showing you the percentages on some of the packs to show you like, okay, there's a percentage to get a rare goal, there's a percentage to get a rare goal, 85 plus special card, that kind of stuff. And they showed you that, you know, it don't matter now. You're going to have a very low chance of getting good players. And like this week I got a goal rare mega pack, the 28 one. And I actually wasn't expecting nothing big out of it. And I pack Usman Dembele. And he's going for 80k. And I was like, wow, that's actually pretty good. I didn't expect that, you know.
Really good.
And so I don't know if like the packing, the good ratio to it is improved. I don't know if that's a thing or that's just me and the people I'm aware of are having decent luck. I like that to get icons this year, it is a lot more play to earn as well.
Right.
Because this week they announced that instead of just having trading card, like last year, they had swap cards.
Yeah.
And you could swap it for various things. But to get an icon was like the hardest part of it. This year they're making it such that depending on the level of icon you are willing to work for, you can't get that.
Right.
So if you're willing to do all the objectives, you can't get prime icons. You can get icons with 90 plus rating and that kind of stuff. If you're not willing to, but you're willing to do some, you can get the base versions, the 85 rated and that kind of stuff. And I like that because it was only until like FIFA got kind of, you know, like football kind of boring last year when I actually got an icon into my team, and that wasn't so much fun. But yeah, I like that. I like how I have liked since it came out. I like the idea of rivals. I think rivals divisions were way better than the division system before. This makes it a lot more easier to match with people along your skill line, and therefore it improves you because if you are beating people at your level, you go up skills, that kind of thing. And so I guess we could go on to broken players now. Those players you use so far that you find like, you know, they have a low rating, but yet they're doing the job for you. They're putting in the work for you. Or what do you think has been like the meta so far to play with?
All right, so broken players that I've seen so far. Well, I'm building a Prem team right now, and for me, Jamie Vardy is mad broken in terms of how quick he is. I mean, I put a hawk on him, and he's ridiculous now. His shooting is decent, and I actually started with him when I selected English. That was one of the players they gave to me now. So I really didn't have to pay for him. I didn't have to pack him, and he's really good. You mentioned Saint Maxime. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. He as well. He's ridiculously quick. Ridiculously quick. Naby Keita, I don't know if you ever played with him, but he's actually very good on the ball. Ball control, ridiculous. People that I expected more from. I expected more from Ozil, and I'm not bashing Arsenal players.
No.
I expected more from Ozil as an 84 player, as what we see Ozil do at Real Madrid, at his time at Arsenal. I really expected more from him in the game, but so far he's really garbage. So
No. I hadn't too, and I got rid of him.
He's been garbage. This guy, boy, Luca Digne, good, solid left back. Goes up the pitch well. He could whip across. He could also hit the ball very good. But then you would bounce up people with a Joshua King, who you would think shouldn't be as effective, but for some reason he seems effective. And I mean, that's the whole thing with FUT, the chemistry, the consumables that you put on a player. It could really boost how a basic card player now. So what about you? Like some of the men that you've seen that seems.
Well, so I started off with a Prem team as well, and then I went, and because I had some decent pack luck, scrappy team. I was like, okay, well, maybe an easier team to get good players for cheaper prices in the Bundesliga. That didn't really work out. Scrap that, and I went back to the Prem.
Right.
And then along the Prem, I packed a Thiago Alcantara.
Right.
And I was like, damn, well, I love him in real life. Love him. One of the most technically gifted players I've gotten to see, have the pleasure of seeing. The most cleanest spanner you'll ever see in your life.
Nah. You ever see Bonnion? Wilfred
Oh,
Bonnion?
yes. That was good. Yeah. But right, so I loved him, and it was untradeable. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put him aside and find a way to fit him.
Right.
So I scrapped some men, and I made a hybrid between a Prem defense and a Spanish attack. So what I did is I poured the money. I got Rodri, put him in. And for somebody who's quite slow, he was really, really good. He is really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised that he's 85 rated, plays so well, and he goes for so cheap. Like, he's only 25k for 85 rated players, whereas Fabinho is in the 80s, I think, right now.
Yeah.
So I brought in Thiago, I brought in Sarabia, who also worked really well for me, surprisingly, as a winger. 'Cause I use him like a winger.
Serious?
Yeah, because I was playing 4-2-3-1 narrow.
Right.
And on the other way was, that was Inaki Williams. So, he's broken. He's always been broken.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know if it was last week for Milo or the one before, where everybody was bringing Hervin Lozano off the bench. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Correct.
And I had Paco on top, right? So for a while, before I could have afforded, not Paco, I had the one from Valencia, Rodrigo.
Right.
But before I could have afforded him, I had Mbe Niang on top.
Right.
Dog, he is extremely broken.
Serious?
He has about 86, 87 pace, but if I remember right, he has a high strength rating. And because of that, combined that with pace, he's the most phenomenal striker. I still have him in my team as a super sub because you bring him on and dog is sure goals with him. So he for me has been really broken. I found Callum Wilson was pretty good. Quite a good finisher, despite just having 80 rating and about 82 finishing. James Madison was quite good for me as well. Like, he was so good that that his inform came out, I was so determined to get it because I am the kind of person that, and I guess it's selling out with tactics, it's always that, but I'm the kind of person that my calm, and no matter what system I play in, he will be my main goal scorer.
Right.
Like, just the way my football plays and the way I pass the ball, it tends to breach my calm very often. So, like, last FIFA, I had the flashback Mata in there.
Right.
And he was phenomenal for me because he had a really high finishing rating. And, like, that was, like, I would put that, I have been playing foot since the inception, and I would put that up as one of my favorite cards ever. It was really, really good, and it really fitted my style of play.
Right.
So having a cam that could finish was really good for me, and that is why James Madison was excellent. Other than that, I don't really think I can think of any broken players. Players that I found that has underperformed for me, Ricardo Pereira of Leicester.
Yeah.
I had him. I sold Bellerin to get him because he had a higher rating. Wasn't that much slower, but his stats seemed better. But damn, he was really, really poor for me defensively. Like, he was really poor at getting back after he attacking.
Yeah.
Other players who underperformed for me was Zaha was okay, but I mean, when you have a striker, like, what made him so limited for me was that because he had a striker card, and I really, really wanted to play him on the left wing.
Okay. Well, he is a CF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was hard to play him on the left wing, and he had all the beat in the world, like, especially in real life. He could do me a favor. Come on, son. I would love that to do. Have an all African front three, dog.
You get Pepe, so I mean, I don't know.
So, and then before we go on to the next part of this, because we're actually doing decent for time, me and you both heavily play pros.
Yeah.
We are part of essentially the same pros club.
Yeah.
You are the one player that I will admit is better than me in pros.
In pros.
Because we both play the same position. We both like to play right wing or calm.
Right.
And after both of us played TT Pro League, what's your feeling of this pro so far?
I really like it. It's a bit difficult, but I like the challenge. I think previous pro clubs, I was broken if we using broken players and stuff like that. Like, I was broken at pros. It had some angles I would shoot from that people think shouldn't score, and I think it's more realistic. I like the management of his skill points in this one, because before you could really just put it on pace and have a very quick player, put it on shooting a player, but now you really have to manage your points more efficiently. And it's difficult. It hasn't been easy so far, but I relish a challenge, so I look forward to going at it every weekend or every time that we gather to play.
Yeah. I actually really like that as well, because like before, you really could have made a broken player. And I do like that there is now a thing in it that where if you actually put skill points in one area, you reduce in another.
Yeah.
And it makes you actually think about, okay, do I rather this or do I rather that one? Whereas before, you could have afforded to just, put all in one, put all in the next one, and you're fine.
Yeah.
And you could have just made a very much a well-rounded player that could have played anyway, And I do like this one. I like that you actually start off with higher rated EIs.
Yeah.
Because like before, when you started off in in the lower divisions, you had like 70 rated, and then the gradual growth was very slow.
Yeah.
But like our club right now is like in Div 5,
Yeah.
and we already have like 82, 83 rated
Correct.
defenders. So now that actually makes some sense to me now. I don't expect to go in FIFA, go into the 4th division of English football and see 80 rated players. But I understand that now that, okay, when we reach Div 3, Div 2, Div 1, we would have, well, I don't expect it to go up to 90, but like 85 rated defenders, and that's solid. I actually found the keeping in this FIFA, the whole was way improved. And you see it in pros.
Yeah.
I never understood, Myles, how last FIFA they could have thought, we'll put AI keepers as the same height as everybody else, because in real life that is what it is. Like, I didn't understand that, and this year they fixed that.
Yeah.
I like how hard it is to score, and just like you, I like the challenge because, okay, like I joke and I say that I'm one of the best, but I know I'm not, and I like having to fight to get better.
Yeah.
Because then when I meet up somebody who thinks they're that good, I could probably beat them then. Have you got a chance to play manager mode yet?
No, I haven't.
So I got frustrated with pros, with foot and night, and I went and started the manager mode. However, I was determined to not play AIs in this game. As I try my best not to be playing against AIs, because I think that to some extent that dulls your skill level, because they'll never be as good as a human. At least I haven't found so. Like, I've had to play a squad battle just because I needed to do some objective to get a once watch card. And I played an ultimate Myles, and I didn't feel like if I was playing somebody hard. Don't say wow.
No.
Use the same thing.
No, it isn't. I play unprofessional.
Anyways, I do take joy in career mode. Obviously, not really for right now, because right now I invested in foot or pros when I'm playing FIFA.
Right.
But like later down, when we reach into the March, April around there, and you want something different to do, they really have kind of failed with this career mode, and I'll tell you why. One, I played, well, obviously I did my first one with Arsenal to try and fix all the problems that Emery clearly don't see. And though, Man City finishing like 9th and 10th in the table, and you'll ask why, right? The reason being is that when they play teams of lower stars, they put out a B team or a C team rather, and they put out a lower rated team, and that's something that they've released 3 patches since the FIFA came out, and not once they fixed that.
Wow.
And it again shows that FIFA hates to pay attention to the stuff that don't make them money.
Yeah.
Because that is broken. The simulations are a bit broken. It is right now a bit too easy to raise players at a certain rating, and the simulations aren't real, because now we have cases where instead of me fighting against Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and the other 2 small sides for the title, I'm fighting West Ham and United and Leicester, and these are the small teams,
Just now you mentioned United as a small team there.
Yeah, them lost to Newcastle the other week, and I'm like 12 years old though.
Yeah, go back to the manager mode.
but yeah, like I have always like said that there was so much things they could do to fix FIFA. Like, something I always wanted to see was like objectives-based season.
Right.
Like, you get to choose a club that could be based on real life, that fight in relegation at Christmas.
Right.
And they fire the manager, and you get to jump in as the manager there. No, you have to save them.
Yeah.
You be the manager, you fix that. Comparing it, I don't know if you ever heard of FM, Football Manager. They claim, and I have played it, they claim to be one of the most realistic simulations for football, and it's really good. They have academies in their game, actual academies based on the club, where, for example, like Barca, Puig in the academy, Alenia come to the academy.
Right.
So 2 years ago, before he was part of the first team that you'd have seen Barca when they load up FIFA, when you go into FM and you go into your under 23s, you see Alenia, you see Pui, you see Vwage, you see these players, but you don't get that in this FIFA.
Right.
They ask you to go and scout and find AIs.
Right.
That is something that clearly isn't going to take that much effort into doing, but
Yeah.
because it doesn't make them money, they don't fix it, you know.
Understand.
And I'm not saying that I want them to charge money of it, but this is something that, you know, I always think that they should be putting a little bit more effort in, and I wish that they did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but on the whole, I am enjoying this FIFA so far. I like how I've always been somewhere that I say I like to play good football. I don't think I've ever really tried to, try to be a pace abuser.
Right.
And the fact that the players are making better runs and smarter runs and be a lot more closer to like I used to find like you used to put players on stay back from attacking and they wouldn't listen.
Right.
I like how players are actually listening to instructions now, and I could play a better brand of football that I wanted to play. So, you know, like, what was your overall view of the FIFA?
Yeah, again, I love it. And
I mean, anything is an upgrade from 19.
True. I would have taken anything if they bring back 98. I'd have taken. But for me too, I think any FIFA they bring out, why I would put so much effort into it, because really and truly is more than a game.
Yeah.
It's something that is it is a lucrative job. Is a good option if you have the time to invest in it, really and truly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, right now in my life, I don't have the time that I would have invested in previous FIFAs. But being a pro is a great feeling. It's something you get to travel the world, doing something you love. Yeah. It's very similar to being a professional football player. Your name on the back of a jersey. So that's one of the reasons why any FIFA they bring out, I would try to be the best that I could be at the game.
Yeah.
And so far, not close to being good. I lose to people that I don't.
Well, I'm looking forward to us playing now then.
I lose to people that I shouldn't be losing to. But at a point in my life where instead of coasting, like I learn from it now. I think a lot of things I could implement. Like I beat less now.
Yeah.
I pass the ball.
I know.
Yeah.
I play pros there, I know.
Yeah, I pass the ball before I would enjoy, and I think that's the better Trini in me. You know, we love to see a beat. Like I'd enjoy just beating and hear somebody ball. Wait, this youth man could well beat that kind of thing. But now, I think I mature a lot in the game. I pass the ball more. Create a lot more chances by moving the ball more. And as you said, this FIFA is one in which the movement of the ball is much better. The driven pass is more effective. I find it goes straight to the player. It goes harder to the player. Something that I didn't mention that I didn't like or I don't like in this FIFA is I find the keeper passing out the ball to the defender is very slow. Like even if you hold R1 for him to, like, there's a delay, and people could read that and one-on-one with the keeper. But all in all is an improvement from 19. And as I said, like, anybody would take any FIFA other than 19. And I
actually find the precedent this FIFA is actually a lot better though. Like if you try to be playing the ball out from the back, it's not as easy as last FIFA.
Yeah.
You could have time ways from like the 80th minute last FIFA and be okay.
Yeah.
You can't do that. The team, like FIFA has an algorithm in it to realize that, okay, the opposite team is now trying to play out from the back or try to waste time, and sets your team to be pressing them higher. And I actually like that, you know. So, yeah, that's it, guys. And I'll catch us next time when football resumes. Thank you so much, Milo, for coming on the show, man. Thank you guys for joining us. See you soon. Later.
God, should have been the man. Yes, sir. First class flights on the Delta. Check still sitting on the dresser. Yes, sir. I settled for the lessons. Should have been the man.